Hey, welcome back to Fixing Things. Today, man, we have a lot of stuff to do and we got good news. Not only that, I just got done watching Donald Trump put his hand on the Bible and raised his right hand and took the oath of office. It was pretty awesome. But all that stuff aside, the Pinto, man, I got to get back on the Pinto. I haven't did nothing on the Pinto since before Christmas, pretty much. Went to Hawaii and some other stuff. We did a little video, on the four-link suspension. But I got parts coming, and we're gonna hold off on that back section for a little bit. And like I said, we got some big news coming up on my sponsorship. So, but today on this video, I think we're going to be focusing on this, because this doesn't look good. And I'm thinking if we're going to be going to Holly Ford Fest, and I'm thinking we are going because we missed it last year, and it's probably a good thing because it poured down rain the whole time. And we went to an awesome car show right here in Virginia on the same day, and we had an awesome turnout. A lot of people loved the meat haul truck. I got to get some more episodes on the meat haul truck, but today we're going to focus in on this. But before I do that, I'm going to talk about my sponsor, Flashark. And these guys reached out to me, and they have confidence in me about using their equipment on my car, on my projects, and want me to talk about their stuff. And I'm the kind of guy that I don't take things lightly. I just don't jump on anybody's bandwagon. I had a couple people come to me for sponsorships already. One was an eyeglass company and another thing. And I said, well, do you guys make safety glasses? And they said, no. Then I don't want nothing to do with you. Because what do my customers want to do with regular eyeglasses when if they make like eyeglasses for people who are working on cars and stuff, safety eyeglasses, man, that would be good. But no. But see, Flashark, they're hitting me with some products that are right up my alley. Because the Pinto is going to be an autocross car, right? And they just happen to make awesome suspension parts that go for autocross stuff. They got coilover suspensions for almost all the cars that are out there, whether it be Challengers and Chargers and Toyotas and Acuras, and even four-wheel drive suspensions for trucks and everything, and Jeeps. They got a lot of stuff like that, and they got a lot of good reviews. And I checked them out pretty good. And these guys seem to be on the up and up. And so we're going to put their coilover suspensions on the Pinto. Now, the problem is they don't make a coilover suspension that fits the Pinto. But I went through their hundreds of selections that they have, and I found one that I can retrofit to fit on the Pinto. We're actually going to be taking the back shocks off of one car, putting it on the front of this car, and putting the front ones that goes for a strut suspension on the back, which will pretty much bolt right in to the new four-link suspension that we put on. And if you haven't seen that, you need to go back and take a look at it. That suspension is really nice, really nice. Also, for all you people that watch my channel, man, thank you guys. So we got a special promo code for you guys right here. FX15, get a 15% on anything you buy from Flashark right now. I don't know if that percentage goes up and down as we move on with this sponsorship program, affiliated collaborants of this historical event on the day of inauguration. I don't know. Look, I ain't got my American flag right here. That's what I'm talking about. So I think it's going to be a good thing. You can check my links on the listings down below. I don't know whether you're watching on TV, on computer. You got to flop around and to get to all the links and stuff. Check them out, Flashark, and I think it's going to be good. Their coilover suspensions are completely adjustable. You can lower your car. Sometimes you can lower your car almost 4 inches. They only say 2 inches, but when I was looking at their products, not only do you can adjust the coilover, but you can adjust the location. So not only are you adjusting your ride conditions, you can adjust your ride height. That's pretty good. So some of the things that we're going to be doing, and I'm getting all the parts ready, is one, I'm getting the parts together for the motor. That's that 1978 F-150 motor and the C6 transmission sitting right over there. That is going in this Pinto. It is going in this Pinto. I had a lot of people say, "Oh, you need to put the C4 in there because everything will bolt right up." I'm putting a C6 in here because this thing is going to be drag racing also when we do the suspension this summer coming up for drag racing. So when we take this thing to the Autocross course, we're going to be able to drop the suspension out. That's the plan. Drop the suspension out and put a 9-inch rear end for doing drag racing. So we want this thing to be bad to the bone. We're going to be putting a stall converter in it and a shift kit and everything in that C6 transmission. I'm doing the research on that now. We are going to do it. I'm not sending it off. I don't send off hardly anything to get done. I do it myself. Because that's the way it was done back. I'm 61 years old. And back in my day, we didn't just write a check and send something off to go get it fixed. We did it ourselves. And that's the way I still like doing it. This motor's going together. We're going to be putting a big, tall, flat tappet cam back in there. I got me a new high-rise manifold right here. And as soon as my next paycheck comes in, I got some cylinder heads on standby, ready to be shipped. So we're going to get some aluminum cylinder heads. I always wanted some aluminum cylinder heads. Always wanted some aluminum cylinder heads. It's cold in here. Now I got some aluminum cylinder heads coming. And so with the aluminum intake manifold, aluminum cylinder heads, we're going to be knocking off about 150 pounds off the front end of this thing, bringing the engine weight very close to what we was when we had the 4-cylinder motor in it. The 4-cylinder motor weighs probably around 500 pounds, and this motor weighed about 800 pounds. So when we take the 150 pounds of weight from the cylinder heads and the intake manifold, we're going to be right back to the weight where we was, but we're going to be at 3 times the horsepower. So you don't know how to make horsepower, Pastor Bill. You don't know. Listen, Listen, I know how to make horsepower. Horsepower is not that hard. Most people, they think the biggest and the biggest is the best. No, that's not the way horsepower works. You have to build your engine for what the engine wants, right? You can't force the engine to do something. There was a guy a long time ago. I read some of his publications, and he said, I can't remember who it was. I think it was, he ended up being like the head of Chrysler Corporation or something like that. And he says, if you got to put a turbo or a blower on your motor to make horsepower, you're building it wrong. And I'm a true and enthusiast of making mega horsepower naturally aspirated. It's so cold, my nose is running. It's cold in here. Whew, I should have turned the heater on yesterday and got this place warmed up. That's why I'm moving around and talking. I got to get my hands busy. I got to get my hands working on stuff. So we're going to make a naturally aspirated engine, and the engine should make right around probably 350 to 400 horsepower on the flat top pistons. I had a 302 engine in my 65 Mustang that was pushing 750 horsepower. Had 12 5-to-1 compression pistons, had a flat tappet camshaft in it. And when we get the camshaft in here, I chose it specifically for what we're going to be doing. It's not a high end. This is going to make mega horsepower from like 1,500 horsepower up to about 5,000 to 6,000 RPMs. What's the use of making all your horsepower up into high RPMs when you're not going to be using that high RPMs most of the time? You need to be making the horsepower through the entire. You want that horsepower to start off at a steep sleep and then maintain it across the power band, a smooth width. And we're going to do that by the combination of the camshaft and the intake manifold that I chose, and some modifications we're going to make to that intake manifold. Okay, I'm running my lips way too much. Today, let's get on this. We're almost 13 minutes in this video, and I haven't even done anything yet. So in here, it looks like crud. We done a lot of work. We did the motor mount and everything, but we got to clean these things up. I can't get the nuts in here. So we're going to take these things off and rework them. We're going to take off the battery tray, clean all this up. You can see where it's got rust holes in it. We're going to take a lot of this stuff off, fix all this stuff up. Over here, I mean, I like some of this stuff. I'm not even sure what that is. I don't even know what that is. I ain't never seen one of those things. I've seen them on a couple cars before. It's a push button thing. I think I just broke it. It's like it's a remote switch thingy. I'll test that out someday. Probably just broke it. Anyways, I think I'm gonna keep that. Voltage regulators over here. My alternator's on this side. We're probably gonna have to do an alternator swap. The alternator on 302 fits on this side. We may try to do an alternator for this side so everything is on this side. I think there's a couple kits out there that swap sides on small block Fords. I'll dig in to do some research on that. But let's dig in and do the research on this. Yeah. Also, we're going to have to make some modifications to this right here. So when the engine's in there, the radiator is going to have to sit on this side. And if you notice, it's got all kinds of curly whirlies on here. So this kind of needs to be like turned around, maybe new stuff. I want to be able to incorporate the latching system. I want the stuff to work kind of stock. I want the car to have a stock appearance, but you can say, that car ain't stock, right? People say, what's up with your car? Is that thing modified? Nah, stock. Stock. This camshaft's gonna rattle your teeth out. We're gonna talk about camshafts, not today. All right, so let's get started. Man, lips are running way too much. Let's get this girl up in the air. Make America great again. Make this Pinto great again. All right, the first thing I want to address is my motor mounts. Now, we already had the motor on these, and when the stud came down, it was really hard to get the nut on it. So we're gonna cut these off, clean these up, paint them up, and put them back on. This one sticks off the frame a little further. This is to make room for the steering mechanisms and stuff. So also I'm probably going to try to take this stuff off and pull this stuff a little closer to the frame. I might do it that way. It gives me more room on the oil pan. But let's get these motor mounts first. So it's just got some bolts on it, and they should come right off. To lower the car to the tire off to get to it. Wrong size. We got it. Now what's holding it? Got it. Yeah, there was a slight welding tack on it. Take it over to the bench now and clean this thing up. Get it ready to put back on. All right, so here's the motor mount right here. Got me some brand new working gloves. And the idea is the bolt is going to be sitting down through here and won't be able to get the nut on. So we're going to make a pie cut here with the grinder, cut that piece out, then we'll clean this thing up and paint it and get it ready to put back on the car. So we'll take our trusty grinder, which I'm probably going to have to make some modification to these things because they start to get floppy. All right, so we hacked that off right here, and it already looks a lot better. We'll maybe put a flapper on there and clean that up, and we'll put a a little bit of paint on it, and then bolt this thing back up. Now I'm just going to hit it with some gloss black, but later we're going to paint the entire engine compartment orange. Making new, rebuilding. All right, while that's drying, I think we'll take the other one off and do it. Motor mount number 2. All right, we got the thing all cut up. Let's clean it up now real good. Now that looks good. And before we put them back on there, we want to clean up over this stuff here too. So that way we'll get no corrosion on the inside. We'll just take a little bit of wire brush. Get all the loose stuff off it. Probably hit it with a little bit of brake clean. Lacquer thinner. Clean up the other side. I know what you're thinking. You need to get that piece on the there, Pastor Bill, the battery box. We're going to be moving the battery box up slightly, so it won't be using the same hole no more. So I'll probably be drilling new holes in it. All right, we got both motor mounts on there, and we'll see how it looks. So as you can see, it looks a lot better than it did. And now you can see how that's going to make a difference up in here, keeping the rust out. Now it's a good looking motor mount now. She was looking pretty rough before. And all this is going to be painted orange. So I think we'll lower the car down, see if we can't get this battery box out of there, and we'll address that now. I didn't feel any nuts on the back side. So I don't think there is any. battery box. Now we can clean this up. I guess while we're here, we should take off this poor attempt of a ground wire. All right, that you see that was a trap for moisture. It's actually indented right there. We're lucky it does have a little bit of start and rust right here. I think we got it. It's all saved now. You can see where the battery acid has been boiling over up here, but it's only on this outer piece. That's actually a support. Stiffens up the front end. Definitely too cold to be painting it. Oh, getting a lot of runs. It's just too cold up in here. Not empty, but it just won't shoot. That looks a lot better. Now let me address the battery box. I did some more measurements. I don't think I have to raise them. I don't have to raise the battery box up. So we're just going to put it in its factory location. Factory is better. That looks good. That's nice and clean. It's going to be well protected for years to come. Sand it down. Wipe it down with grease remover. Spray it up with some good Rust-Oleum paint. Looking good. Now I just gotta do that side. Guess I need to get started on taking everything off. Great time of day. That side's got more to it, even though this side had all this stuff. All right, I got all that mess off of there. I sanded it down. I mineral spirited it. I Windexed it. And spray painted it, and it looks good. I just got done spray painting it, but I ain't putting it back together tonight. It's dark outside, it's cold outside, I'm tired, I'm hungry, but I'll let you see what it looks like. Then I'll throw it back together tomorrow morning when I get here. So you've seen this side. I've got to clean some of that up, but and hit that again a little bit tomorrow, but second coat. But you see, it turned out pretty good. I switched over to the tractor paint. It was better than the 2 times whatever that stuff is. So I'm gonna go back over this tomorrow with the tractor paint. We're gonna let this stuff cure up. I'm gonna leave the heat on in here tonight. Everything is just staying wet because it's just too cold to really set up. So we'll leave the heat on in here. I'll probably have to plug up some holes in this thing. I should have finished insulating this place. I can say it does get it up to about 50 degrees in here, which is pretty good. But I got the two heaters running, one here, one over there, and it feels pretty good in here, but I'm well insulated right now. I gotta wash my hands, get the mineral spirits on my fingers and drying them all out. But man, it looks good. Now I'll be ready to put that motor up in here and slide that thing down up inside here. Oh, and it's gonna look good. So like I said, we're gonna be going for a factory kind of look. So when they open up the hood, they're gonna say, wow, did that motor come in that thing? That's what I'm going for. Everything we're doing, even the wheel tubs in the back, are gonna have a factory appearance to them, even though this is not going to be a factory car. I want this thing to be, I go down the road any day of the week, daily driver, but bad to the bone. You know what I'm saying? So we got that all cleaned up today. That was pretty good. I want to thank everybody out there that watches my videos. Without you, I couldn't make this happen. I'm just a barber. You know, I used to be a master electrician. I used to drive trucks. I used to make a lot of money way back in the day, way back in the day. But now I'm just a barber, and I do this stuff on my tips. And I thank the good Lord that somebody feels out there that they're going to give me a sponsor like Flashark. Thank you guys so much for donating those parts, and I hope we have a good relationship. This car is going to be nice. This car is going to be nice. Oh, I still got to do the back firewall. I'll do is clean all this up, get all this put back in, and then hit that. But you can see how it's going to turn out. It's going to turn out nice. And that's the whole idea, making this thing look nice. So the paint scheme on this car is going to be orange, kind of like the General Lee-ish, except I think we're going to put some red, white, and blue on this thing too. So I think we're going to have a paint job where it's going from like a General Lee theme into the American flag theme. That's what I'm talking about. I think that'd be awesome. It's going to be an all-American car. American car. Even though the Flasharks is made for a Honda Civic, I believe. Anyways, God bless each and every one of you. Thanks again for watching Fixing Things. Hey, you know something? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I know this video wasn't any high tech and everything, but you know something? Sometimes you got to do all this little stuff to make the project look real good. There were so many things when I was doing the Mihal truck that I did not get recorded because, and then people say, well, I didn't see you doing that. Yeah, because it just wasn't really good content. So this is not like major content, but you know something, it's completing the thing. God bless you. Oh, now people say, oh yeah, I seen Pastor Bill when he did that. That's a pretty cool idea. God bless you. I'll see you on the next Fixing Things with Pastor Bill. You see that? That looks sharp right there.